Let let everybody understand that we are one family. No form of insult, no form of disrespect, no form of belittling any person. We will deliberate, we will listen, we will talk. We are open to suggestion on how to make Edo State an outstanding state in Nigeria. This state happens to be the heartbeat of obedient movement in Nigeria as we speak. Edo State is a known state that speaks its mind, that stay on course and go for what they believe in. Edo State and the people of Edo State do not back down for anybody. They would not cower to any form of threat or intimidation. Edo people could be the loudest, but they back up whatever they are confronted with. They don't back down and they back it up with action and words. Let me put it that way. It's going to be feisty. It's going to be fierce today. We are going to see people that would talk with great passion, that want the best for their state, that would express it in every way possible. I hope we also bear in mind that we are here for one common good, and that is the best. We want the best for our state. I really don't have much to say, but looking forward to a wonderful space. Looking forward to learning from everybody that comes up to speak, that comes up to contribute their own little quota, and how to move Edo forward and how to get the best out of the next coming electioneering season in Edo State. And also bear in mind we have the councilorship election coming up soon. So if we are free to touch up on that, if you are also part of the candidates that are going to be vying for those positions, feel free, come up here and tell us what to look forward to. Without further ado, I would yield the mic to my co-host right now to please give a monologue or our own 2 cents, and then we would kick it out from there. Sorry, 1 second. I believe we'll be streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So guys, please kindly share the space. Kindly bring every Edolite here. Let's discuss, let's rub minds, and let's figure out how to fix whatever the issue is in-house. So, wonderful session. Looking forward to great minds coming up here to speak. And I would yield to Asimeme right now. Asimeme, good afternoon. Nice hosting with you. You already know how to moderate and how to manage the space. I would come in where needed. Thank you, and take it away.
Thank you, Big Mac. Good evening, everyone. It's evening. We're in my time zone, so I'm starting off by saying good evening. I would also say good morning, good day, wherever you are. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's a pleasure to have quite a lot of you on the space. I can see very, very familiar faces from other spaces. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. I'll just sort of echo similar things that Big Mac has stated. We're having a conversation, a discussion, whatever you want to call it, this evening about upcoming elections in the state. How can we all come together, work together, get our voices heard, and make sure that we make the right decision in our state? I would say, we're Edolites, and I would describe Edolites quite loosely. It will be people who are from Edo State, people who've grown up in Edo State, people who currently live in Edo State who are not from the state. The way I see it is, if you've got an interest in making sure that state moves forward, you are an Edolite. So it'd be good to hear from a lot of you this evening, your perspective on how we can move our state forward. Edo State, one thing I would say Edo State is known for is our pace setters, we sort of set the trend in a way. I would describe Edo State as a mini Nigeria, because what you have in Edo State is you have other tribes. Yes, you have predominantly the Edos, but you have quite a lot of other tribes all living peacefully in Edo State. And the way Edo State is, it gives every one of us, who's come up from Edo State, the opportunity to be able to sort of develop and grow. So if we get it right in Edo State, then you expect that this will filter out to the rest of other states in Nigeria. What we're hoping to do this discussion is to see what we can do in our state to make sure that the election next year, we actually, when I say make the right decision, is picking the right people who would actually represent our state, people who are interested in actually governing, being a good administrator, and not looking for their own pockets and their own families and the normal corrupt practices that you see in Nigeria. It's about trying to move our state forward. You've got very, very prominent people, if you look back in history, that have come out of the state, looking at, if we go as far back as Nigeria trying to gain independence, there's quite a lot of Edolites who were part of that struggle. So again, this evening, this is an opportunity to sort of continue that journey, making sure that we can all come together, work together as one, to ensure that we work together for our state, making sure that our state progresses to where it should be. A lot of us who grew up in the state, we know that it's not where it should be. Well, Nigeria isn't where it should be. That's a story for another day. But particularly with Edo State, the looking at the population, looking at the different tribes, we know we can do better than we currently have. So I'm really looking forward to an engaging conversation this evening. As Mag has already stated, we do know we get passionate when we're speaking. So I would encourage everyone, yes, I do want you to express yourself and express yourself freely, but please, we do need to maintain some sort of decorum in the space while we're speaking. I can see we've got quite a few people here who have already started requesting the mic. So thanks very much for that. I would soon be bringing people up. I do want to, there was someone I'm actually looking for. If you are vying for position in the state, please come up. This is, we're all here to listen to what you have to say to us. Please come and speak to us. Let's hear from you in terms of what are your plans for the state? What are your ideas? How can we move our state forward? So it'd be good to hear from you. I would hand over to DJ Freaky, but before we pass the mic, can I just say, if we can start off with at least 5 minutes each, please. What I'll do is I'll try and, when I see you're getting close to 5 minutes, about 4 minutes mark, I will wave my hand just to give you time to sort of round up your submission so that we can then move on to another speaker. So if I start off with DJ Freaky.
Assemblyman, 1 second. Let's allow Welt go.
Oh yeah, Welt
because
has
he's
just come
also
in. Okay.
co-host. Yeah, so he's here right now. So Welt, we're gonna pass the mic to you, and welcome. Give us your intro monologue, and then we'll go from there.
Good evening and good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Depending where you're spacing from today. I'm hoping you guys are having a wonderful weekend. So, thank you, and my sister Osimeme. Hope you're having a good day. And well, We thank everyone for being here today. At least we all know why we're here, to put our mind together and bring idea on how we can move our state forward. Like Mr. Mark have said, those days we are people who we are very bold. We are very we are people who do the work, who do the talk. As the heartbeat of this obedient movement, I think it's very imperative that we get it right when it comes to the next governorship in Edo State. I was speaking to one of our brother here, Osaro, this afternoon, and he actually said something that actually piqued my interest. He said, at the end of the day, what we are looking for in Nigeria, this obedient movement, is for the country to work. And if each state is working, if Edo State is working, Lagos State is working, Kano is working, Sokoto is working, each state is working, and if we put this energy that we're using in this movement, we all channel into each of our states, and if each state are working, automatically it means Nigeria is working, because at the end of the day, it's states that makes up the country, right? So, and this is why we are, coming together and making sure that at the forthcoming elections, we get it right in Edo State, because I think and I know that we deserve better. We deserve better in Edo State, for a state that is very political. We are very awoken, we are very vibrant. I think we deserve, to get a good leader. I think we deserve to have a state that is working. And I'm hopeful that we're going to get it right this time. So at this junction, I would like to pass the mic to Osimi to just hand over to bring up people so that we can hear your opinions, and I think it will go a long way to make us to kickstart the day. Thank you.
Yeah, real quick, 1 second, Asime, please. Guys, kindly share the space. Please share the space, share the space, share the space. We are about 110 people here right now. Please, we need to share the space so we can bring others here. And we're going to be streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So for those that can't join us here, please have them go on YouTube or Facebook to listen to us. Please, I want us to up this number to as high as 300 to 500. Guys, this is an important space, and I want as many as possible to partake. We have aspirants here that would be speaking to us, that would be telling us the agenda for the state, that would be letting us know why they chose to get in the race and what their plans are for the people of Edo State. So the further we spread this message, the better for us. So please, please, please help us spread this gospel by sharing the space. I beg of you guys, share, share, share. Let's increase this number. Thank you. And Osimeme, it's all you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Big Mac. Thank you, Weld. Okay, so just to echo what Big Mac has said, please share the space so that we can have more people join us. It'd be good to hear from quite a lot of people. A lot of things I say is, I say Twitter spaces, you learn a lot. So please, can we just share so we can get more people to be able to come and join our conversation? So I'm going to invite DJ Freaky to come in to the conversation. DJ Freaky, as I said, 5 minutes, please. And I will raise my hand just to indicate so people can let know when their time is it's about up. So DJ Freaky.
Thank you, man, for the time, and Big Man for hosting today's edition of Edo Voice. I just want to welcome everybody here again. as another segment of EDO Voice weekly meetings. Like most of us know, it's normally hosted Sunday and Monday same time, 8 p.m. Oh, sorry. Cool. Wait. I didn't skip you. It just escaped me. All the regulars, I see you, and for those coming for the first time to this space of EDO Voice, you are gladly welcome. Just to stand on the existing protocols regarding how Migmac have analyzed all the stuff we do here and our attention, and Isime may also make justice to that and wait. So, like I said, standing on the existing protocols, please, I want to reiterate what my family members have also said before. Like, we should stay on the course and stay on the topic. This is not a platform to bring argument, counter argument, to want to prove who is right or who is wrong. We just want to have a constructive conversation, and dialogue, and those state is ours. Both those who are aspiring to become governor or chairman or senator, whatever thing they want to become, as long as you are from Edo State. So it all belongs to all of us, not to the candidates, not to the anybody. So that is the reason why we must come together as one state. Whether you speak Isha, whether you speak Bini, whether you speak from Auchi or from Ora, all these places, other places within Edo State, we are one, and that is why we are one voice. So we are going to provide solutions to most of those things we feel that is not being done right in Edo State, such as education, infrastructure, good roads, healthcare system, farming, and all other areas where we think the government are not doing well. And those who are also aspiring to become the first citizen of the state, we should be hearing from them what they intend to change or how they intend to change it. And I think we have professionals here who are also ready to ask questions, area where they think they are not satisfied with answer being provided for the answer being question being asked. So I haven't said that. Please, like I also said the last time, let us envisage not just to wait for the day. We also do meetings here. I think like Mark have already said, we need more people. We need to come together. We need to put seriousness, activeness, commitment. That is the only thing that can make us different from those we are trying to correct. So please, let's put our hearts together. Again, as we start this conversation, let it be constructive as much as possible. And anything anybody said, don't think it's because of you or getting to you. Maybe that's how the person feel it. But we are mature people, and I believe we'll get it right. So let's get together and get it right. Togetherness, we will lift up Edo State to be a proud city they need to be in Nigeria. Thank you. At this junction, I give my mind back. It's back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DJ Friki. So we've got a few speakers already up. Please, if you can indicate by raising your hand, so at least I know who is ready to speak. If not, I will just have to call you in order of your request that came through. So I will hand over to Loretta because I did see your request quite early. So Loretta, if you are willing to come into the conversation, I should say that I do know you are contesting for our number one role in the state, so it'll be good to hear from you. So if you can start off by sort of introducing yourself, and then you then talk us through what your plans and your agenda is for the state. Because you were coming in for our number one role in the state, I would say you probably do need a longer time. So I would let you go on for longer than 5 minutes, if that's okay, maybe about 10 minutes, and then so that we can then get questions from others who want to ask you questions, if that's okay. All right. So I'll hand over to you, Loretta.
Thank you very much, Isi Meme. Can we hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Everybody listening from wherever in the world you are listening from. I think it is commendable that we have taken out this time from all our busy schedules to come and decide that we must brainstorm on moving forward as a state, but also as a country, not just as a state. And I actually want to just say well done to Big Mac for setting the pace. You host seamlessly with Isimeme. And, there was something that Wealth said. Wealth said Edo State is the heartbeat of the obedient movement. We cannot overemphasize that at all. And DJ Freaky has said that we need to tell us how we can bring change for those who are aspiring for the top job in the state. I think it's only proper I start by telling people a bit about myself and what has gotten me to decide to say, okay, now let's go for this top job, which is the governorship of Edo State. First and foremost, I am an Edolite. And I like the definition that Isimeme gave earlier. I'm an Edolite, and I consider everybody with any streak of Edo State blood. So mother, father, as an Edolite, I consider anybody who has lived in the state, irrespective of where their original state of origin as Edolite. But more importantly, I consider people who are friends of Edo State, people who want the progress of Edo State and are ready to collaborate with Edo State as Edolites as well. So you may tag them by proxies, and that means that it's from those who are born, those who are second generation, first generation, or those who are married, or those who just want our interest at heart. They are all Edolites. And today, I am very, very humbled to be speaking to us. My name is Dr. Loretta Oduwari Ogboro Oko. That Ogboro is actually a corrupted version of Ogboe Onaro in Benin, the Benin-speaking part of those states. It means when you plant, whatever you plant is what you reap. So Ogboro and Oko. Oko is the husband's name, so I have a compound last name. And my husband is actually from Delta State, nearby sister Delta State, component of Old Bendel. I was born and bred in Edo State some 40-odd years ago by a father and a mother who made sure that I understood the meaning of my roots, where I am coming from. And I remember those days, my father used to say, you need to know where you are coming from so that you will have an idea as to where you are going to. But more importantly, so that you focus your energies as to what to do to get you to where you're going to. So my dad is from Umuade, Isi, Iguyase and Guneki. And my mother is from Ubiaja and Ekehen. So I traverse about 4 local government areas out of the 18 of Edo State. And I went to Wisdom Nursery School. I'm one of those people, I get one kind of memory like this. I remember the nursery school where I go. I went to Wisdom Nursery School at Agboma, and then Brother Pius Primary School and Lydia Primary Schools in Benin at the time. Then Lydia was at Dumes Road. And then I crossed over to Federal Government Girls College in Benin City, where I did my secondary education. And then I just crossed over. I just walked across, enter Unibed through that back gate to study medicine at the University of Benin. Interestingly, in all of these educational sojourns, all from nursery school, I was, according to them, they say monitor then. And some people will laugh and say, oh, monitor. And then class reps and head girl in Federal Government Girls College Benin and vice president of the University of Benin Medical Students Association at the time. Finished medicine and then went to study public health research at the University of Edinburgh. And also a master's in clinical education from Sheffield Hallam University. Along the line, I have become a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist. So I look after women, pregnant and non-pregnant women, and sometimes their partners with the goal of making them better, improving women's health, and making sure they have alive and well babies in a multidisciplinary fashion. So I have worked at clinical level, management level, and worked in the field in public health and all of that. But interestingly, I didn't stop there. I decided that as an Edo State woman and certain things I saw as the bane of women from Edo State, I needed to go and study law and criminology. So currently, I am working on law and criminology. But interestingly, my special interest area is trafficking and contemporary slavery. And I think for those of us from Edo State, we are talking Edo State matters here, about our 5 million strong state, we know what has been our bane in recent times. It was illegal migration, still is a problem, as well as human trafficking. So as a solution-oriented human being and someone who understands that our shared humanity is the true religion, mine is to seek ways that we can find solutions to all of these, and that has informed doing this PhD. So that's a bit into my educational journey. And just to assure the house, I did my NYSC, don't worry. I did my NYSC, I went back to Federal Government Girls College Benin City. I did my NYSC there and split it between WAC, Women's Health and Action Research Center. Now, why do I think that at this time Edo State is ready for a female governor, and why does it have to be Loretta Oduware Ogboroko? I want to walk up the words of Isimeme and say thank you very much for setting this foundation. You stated that we are pace setters in Edo State. We are the heartbeat for a reason. We are the most politically sagacious state in the country. We are made up of people who actually reason for themselves and they come to their own conclusion. We do not have herd mentality in Edo State. When I say herd, that means like sheep following shepherd. No, we have proven this consistently in an objective and measurable manner. The second coming of Governor Godwin Noyase Obaseki, we saw what Edo State people did. In this current obedient movement, like well said, we are the heart of that movement because there's something about us. There's a shared ability to rationalize and to reason things out. And that way we come to a consensus that is not biased. So we actually are the moral compass, the political pointer of Nigeria. And it would interest us to know that Edo State produced the first elected female senator of Nigeria. And that's our mama, Franca Afedwa, who passed on recently. So what is there to say that this same state is not going to be, well, we know it is going to be the same state that is going to produce the first female governor of Edo State, of Nigeria, I mean. And our unique positioning in the state means that as a gateway state to many other parts of the country, we have a confluence of minds from across Nigeria. We have people who, and my father used to say that traveling or networking is the best form of education. So we actually have a lot of people from our neighboring states, people who are passing through and say, oh, I kind of like this state, I want to settle here. And they make the heart to beat. So Edo State is unique and Edo State is ready for a female governor. Now, why does it have to be a Loretta Oduware Ogboroko? The question, it's I will answer it simply and say that I do not see myself as the only qualified person to be the governor of Edo State. Rather, I see myself as that light bearer who is going to lead in carrying the light jointly with a new set of like minds and a new set of critical mass that Edo State has. So what do I mean? It simply means that I understand that leadership is service and that this cannot be done alone. It simply means that I understand the strengths of Edo State and I am prepared to unlock it with all Edolites across the world. It simply means that I understand that as a leader, it is going to be light bearing. It is going to be making sure that this heartbeat glows for the entire country and for Africa as well. And my shared experiences, my lived experiences can only point to the fact that I've acquired skills over the years to make this possible. And before I hand down for now, I don't want to embezzle too much of the time for now because I'll be speaking again. I want to highlight some of these experiences. Apart from the academic side, which I have been fortunate. I just see myself as fortunate. There's nothing special about me. I only get two eyes, one nose and one mouth. You know, if to say maybe my papa not raise me the way he raised me, I not get opportunity to go school. Maybe I will still use leg, cross deserts, enter our gardens, and I would not have been different. And that's why I call it lived experiences that have now given me that skill to be able to say, okay, let's go for this. Some of them are the facts, and I think this is the most important part.
Thank you, Loretta. Sorry to jump in. Really sorry to jump in. Apologies, I've had to cut you short. I know I've probably broken your flow of what you were saying. I've just had some notification at the back end that, thank you for your introduction, but if I can just get you to stare back towards a bit about your introduction. So you were talking about yourself. If you can just very briefly, just do something around what your plans are for Edo State, just very briefly. Apologies, I'm steering you back towards that, if that's okay.
Oh, no, that's fine. Plan for Edo State is to make Edo State a beacon. How? There are some core spaces that if you look at it, you can find that in those industries, we can do better. And I have tagged this the pacts. The pact because it is my pact with the people. The pact because it is an action call, a call to action. And THEPACTS. T stands for technology, and technology is going to run through all of the sectors. H is for healthcare, and E is for education. P, production and infrastructure, very important, and A, agriculture. C is commerce and jobs, and this is very important because that dovetails into tech, where you can have tech jobs remotely and you can even earn in foreign currency if well done. And of course, T is for tourism and diaspora. Whether we like it or not, even the resource-rich nations, they have had to fall back on their diaspora to be where they are today. Rome fell back on its diaspora. Same thing with Egypt, And then S, of course, is for security. Nothing will work when we are not secure, when we don't feel safe in our space. And in all of these parts, it actually dovetails into our youth, our young people, our women, our girl-child empowerment. So technology, for instance, we want more women to become technologically savvy. Health, basic health care. Why should 150 women be dying on an average daily in the course of their reproductive duties? Why should under 5 die from malaria when right now we have malaria vaccines and Edo State can come into partnership with the producers of these vaccines? Education, basic education and technical education must be taken seriously. They are the fulcrum of production and infrastructure. Because whether we like it or not, you can go to the university and study some highfalutin, fancy degree. But what changes societies is the implementation in the field. So technical education and basic education is what we should be focusing on. As at basic healthcare as well, they say educate a woman and you educate a nation. Educate a boy and a girl in a way that they can be productive with their hands. Germany, for instance, you hardly find people going to collect university degrees. A lot of them are actually working from technical side, and we call them German machines. Everybody knows that Germany is responsible for producing the best machines the world has come to know. Of course, production and infrastructure will dovetail into all of these because you also have improved researches in our university. We have many state universities and we have federal university in Edo State. Let these professors begin to profess in such a way that it is harnessed into the field and that it actually includes technical education properly. And of course, agriculture and food security, it needs to be taken to the next level. Not just Oriomo, for instance, is a big local government area in Edo State with arable lands of multidimensional proportions. What are we actually doing with it? Are we mechanizing it? We have great minds who can do this for us. We need to tap into it. And of course, commerce and job creation, I've mentioned that clearly. We need to empower our youth population because when youths are not occupied, they become restive. And that's when they'll be used for tertiary and all other things. But if we're able to bring to our youths and say, oh, look now, you can even be empowered by these short courses. You can be taught how to even work remotely. You can be taught how to work in another country, even when you are within Edo State. It's worth thinking about. And of course, even in this line, you can think along the nursing school. We have a revamped nursing school. Oh, yes, but what are we doing with it? We can begin to encourage our young girls, go into nursing, and we can even export nurses to the rest of Nigeria from Edo State. Have we ever really thought about this? And of course, tourism and diaspora. What tourism will unleash in Edo State from the Kukuruku Hills in Edo North? And you go and you imagine taking Ugbabanalimi troop round the world. Just imagine what we can generate. Imagine making Igun Street a hub. And of course, security. So the past is what we have ready for our people. And it's an engagement as well. It's not a one-way thing. And it's going to cost across all our population strata.
Hello, please, we want to cut you short, please. Because we would like to, pass the mic around at least, since you still be at the speaker session to, come back in at least tell us your plans. We would like to just pass the mic across because we are seeing a lot of requests coming in. So if you don't mind, we are very sorry. So like Big Mac said when we first started speaking, we would like to work with time and please just indulge us and just stick around a bit and because there will be questions coming in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Because I think the first person that raised his hand here was Ninja Watch, I think so. So please let's hear what you have to say. Thank you.
Sorry to interject. Sorry, I'm very sorry about that. I had to do this. Sorry, Mark. I'm sorry. Wait for this. Please. I just want to say something. I guess most of us don't know here, and I can't blame you for that. It's the first time maybe you'll be hosting with us. This space, please, I want to restate again. We are here tonight for a Edo issue, and I guess that's all what we are also discussing. But what we are discussing is not as regard what we need to hear for now. I will start by this. The candidates, aspirants, whether for governorship or whichever level, please, we only need introduction. We are not here for campaign for today. And this space is not also a space to campaign. I want to reiterate this. So we are Edo Voice to hear people who want to lead Edo State in whichever capacity. We have questions to ask. We need to know them. Antecedents, capacity, body, background, names, and all of that. So it is our duty to assess any candidate that we want to support. I said again, I repeat again, to assess every candidate by their introduction, by their antecedents, by their capacity. We have people to ask the questions. So we are looking for the like minds of our Peter Obi. We are not saying it should be 100% Peter Obi. So we are looking for that like minds. So the time for introduction is now and not the time for campaign. That is number one. Number two, please, anybody, again, candidate, aspirants, whatever capacity, if you want to ask the support of, I don't know, individual people or as a group, I said it at the last space, please do it properly. We don't want anybody coming first day introduction and immediately campaign. That is not what we are here for today. Now, what we are here for today, first of all, if you don't have a problem, how can you solve a problem? And I will want everybody to understand this because we are always saying Edo State is the heartbeat of obedience. That is very correct. It is very correct because of Peter Obi, who happens to unite every Nigerian youth, or old and alike. Because why? We know him to the extent of say, go and verify. And we have done that. We can't find anything. Now, I will take you back again. In every state in Nigeria, you have obedience. In every APC camp, you have obedience. In every PDP camp, you have obedience. In Labour camp, you have obedience. In APM, or every other political groups in Nigeria, you have obedience. On the national level. So when it comes to states, it's a different story. And I will take my state, Edo State, as an example. The youth of APC, the youth of PDP, the youth of Labour Party, every other party in Edo State came together as obedient to support Peter Obi. I know what I'm talking about. So now, when it comes to state level for governorship election, the using of the terms Edo State is the heartbeat of obedience, having that confidence that you will have that same number of obedience during governorship election, that is a lie. So why am I saying this? The first thing foremost to do, like we have discussed back channel, which most people here are aware of. Maybe we skip that a little bit. I can't blame anybody for that. But then, first thing foremost is to identify the problem we're having in Edo State. Then secondly, how to solve that problem. And we'll also reach that kind of solution, how to solve that problem. Which is, are you truly obedient in Edo State? If you call yourself obedient, here is the database or whatever, where you are going to register as an obedient if you really think you are an obedient. So the choice is then yours. You want to be obedient or you want to be APC or PDP. So we will now have these numbers as these datas. We say, oh, we have 1 point something, we have 1.3, we have 1. Then we now have the confidence to say we can repeat that same obedient energy during February election. So this is the first problem to identify. So after this, we cannot stand here boldly to campaign or to do whatever, or to say, okay, this candidate has this antecedent, this other one has this antecedent, who do we support? We will also come to a unanimous agreement to say, this is the direction we want to go. All we want is the betterment of Edo State. So there's no compromise, there's no say, this is my brother, this is my friend. No. This Edo Voice platform is different. Nobody compromised, nothing here. Whoever we support is somebody we must have seen, discussed, scrutinized to know this person is this person deserved our support. It doesn't mean if we support you are going to win, but I believe when we support, we will go the mind way. So please, I just want us to direct our conversation this night on behalf of my colleagues that we get it right. Thank you so much, and I yield back.
Thank you, DJ Freaky. Thank you for that wonderful submission. I thank you, Mrs. Lorenta. Thank you, Ma, for your time and for your brief introductions and your giving us your insight to your manifesto. So we there are a lot of people here who want to ask you questions. We're also seeing other governorship candidates here who probably wants to also give us brief introduction to who their selves and their manifesto. Like DJ Freaky just reiterated, I think it's imperative that we actually have a time management here because there are a lot of requests here, and I see Mr. Steven, also a governorship candidate, and so I would just ask you to wait a bit. Let's what was it called, Ninja, or was it called Ninja? Right, to to give us his take, and because we know where you're coming, you also probably take a bit of your time. So please, go on, Ninja.
Thank you very much, Wendy. I appreciate you, DJ Freaky. Thanks very much for that wonderful analysis. I want to appreciate every one of you, the host, Isemene. I appreciate every one of you right there listening to us. God bless you all. Thank you. I can see Jimmy listening to us from far. God bless you all, my wonderful people. I just wanted to, Loretta, it's good to hear from you. I know you are familiar with this voice. Nigeria was you're familiar with the name as well. One of the biggest media in Edo State, with over 1 million followers, and me that I played a very massive role in Obaseki's coming back in second time in office. At this particular time now, I'm working heavily for Mr. Peter Obi. Since April last year, every single day I've been coming out for Mr. Peter Obi on my YouTube channel. And Lorenta, you played a big role as well for Obaseki. Before you coming out to say you want to become a governor of Edo State, there's a question, because I believe we all are allowed to ask questions here. I would like you to criticize Obaseki first, because I noticed that I'm the only media still standing in today that supported Governor Obaseki, that started checkmating him from day one in office till tomorrow. I've criticized him over and over again. I've called him out. I have all my staff on ground showcasing all the dilapidated roads everywhere. Even the secretary have came to my platform to speak. We called him, we summoned him to my platform. He came to speak and all that. The chief of staff as well, and many others. I remember Senator Uzamire also came to my platform. Dr. Pedro Obaseki came to my platform. I called all of them in to ask them questions what is going on in Edo State. I'm a vibrant person, a very bold person, as you all know. Yes, my dad is a chieftain of PDP in Edo State, as you also know that. Oni Edigin, everybody know that in PDP. So, but I choose to support Mr. Peter Obi since April. I have criticized PDP, APC continuously because I have to let people know that the biggest problem we have today is APC and PDP, because they are satanic party. Those two parties have collaborated in putting us where we are today. But now let me come back to Lorenta. I'm surprised that you're coming out as a governor. You are a governor aspirant. It's a good thing. I don't have any problem with that. In fact, it's my wish to see a female become a governor in those states. But as for you, before you want to become a governor, I've never seen you criticize the same Governor Obaseki. And two, why are you coming out? I believe you are coming out under the platform of Labour Party. You have come out under the platform of Governor Obaseki. And if you are not coming out from PDP, that means you know that PDP is satanic. Then tell us why. Tell us all the wrong the Governor Obaseki have done in Edo State. Because you have not criticized Governor Obaseki till now, and you want to become a governor. How is that possible? With the Niger Watch media on ground? You must criticize these satanic people for all.
Okay, Niger Watch Media, tone it down. Tone it down. Please kindly rephrase your question. I don't see anything as must. You can't impose yourself on somebody when you're not given the reason why that should be done. So please turn it down and rephrase your question to a better choice of words so that she can relate with you. It's not confrontational. Don't let this be a confrontational issue, please. I would unmute you so you can continue.
All right.
Go ahead, sir.
No. Yeah.
Unmute your mic and speak. Unmute your mic and speak.
Okay, I've done that now. Thank you very much. Thank you for that correction. No. I'm not confronting her. What I'm saying here, she played a massive role, bringing Obaseki in the second half. I'll give her that credit. What I was expecting from her is for me, because I watched everyone on social media, I wanted to see her criticize the government, the current government in Edo State for their wrongdoings as well. But I've not seen anything like that. She want to become our governor. She's supposed to be able to criticize the current governor or the outgoing government in Edo State. Because, listen, guys, I said it before. My dad is a chieftain of PDP. You know what that means? Dedicating, consecrating myself for Mr. Peter Obi. You know what that means? So everybody knows my name. This is the son of Barrister Godwin Oni-Edigin speaking right now. If we have to have a better Nigeria, we must be able to call out the satanic government that have caused the pains that you and I are facing today. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Dr. Loretta, you have 2 minutes to respond to him, or you can defer to whichever one.
Thank you very much. Good evening, my dear Mr. Oni-Edigin, and once again, everybody in the house. I was actually waiting to be called on by the hosts before I respond, because I think that's the civil thing to do. So I think I can now respond. First of all, I want to clarify certain points that my dear brother has raised. The work for Mr. Peter Obi and the Labour Party and the Obedience, and by extension, a new Nigeria. The work for a new Nigeria has been done by all of us in our different niches and in our different ways. You may know yours, you may not know the other person's, but that is why we are having these kind of interactions. It may interest you to know that I was the lead and still remain the lead for the health part of the Obi-Dati Labour Manifesto. I wrote everything on health. I was appointed the health policy lead many, many years ago when the campaign was starting, when Obi moved from PDP to Labour Party. Again, it will interest you to know that the first ever Teletron run in Nigeria and done by the Labour Party and Obi-Dati movement and the Obedience was done by myself. You can watch it. You're on social media. It's there for the whole world to see. So my point exactly is, for all of us on this platform right now, I think right now we're about 126. And for everybody listening to my voice or our voices from different parts of Nigeria and across the world, we cannot say conclusively that we know what they've done for the betting of a new Nigeria holistically. We can't say that. You worked I work, people are still working. It may interest you to know that all of the letters sent to the MP, over 350 of them in this United Kingdom, was signed by myself on behalf of the Obedience and the Movement for a New Nigeria. It may interest you to know that we have written to the Prime Minister letters signed by myself and across Europe and America. Look at this. You see, the bane sometimes of us, the obedience, is our focusing on what separates us more than what unites us. And I think we should cut back on that. I love you, my brother, for the work you've done. And I appreciate each and every one of us for the work we are also doing and that we have done in different ways. Now, to your second question, which is the criticism of Governor Godwin Nogagase Obaseki.
Doc, I have to mute you if you don't want to listen to me, please.
Hello?
Yes, I'm trying to call your attention.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, please.
Your audio is so low, my brother. I can barely
hear. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
That's better. Yeah.
Okay. Please, I want us to stay to the topic or your response. When you're responding, right, please just go direct. Stay direct to your answers and let's, because of time.
Okay.
We've been spending
the second part of the question.
Minutes. Hold on. So go ahead, answer real quick, straight and concise, and let's keep it moving. Thank you, man.
The second part of the question is quite interesting because a lot of Edolites, a lot of names I see here, supported Governor Godwin Obaseki's second tenure. And I supported him as an individual, not particularly because of party alignment. I've been a member of the Labour Party. That's what I've been a member of. So I really do not understand how you would want to vilify somebody for the support they gave, which other Edo State people across the world also gave. And then criticism has two phases. It can be constructive. Sometimes it is not. It could even be destructive. And I have not been called on yet by the host to say, what do I find is wrong? I was asked a different question and I answered those questions. Except, sir, you have become the host. That's when I will start to answer those questions and when they give me the go-ahead to actually answer those. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, man. Thank you so much. Niger Watch, we will get back to you. So please hang on. Let's keep it moving. We have other people here that should be allowed to also address and speak with everybody. So, let's keep it going.
Thank you, Big Mac. We've got quite a lot of requests, so I'm going to have to be quite strict on. I would have to now start muting people once I raise my hand and you're still carrying on speaking. Please, we do have quite a lot of requests. So I'm just going to go by a show of hands that have come up. I think we had Odige Osaro, who's had his hands up. So Odige, if I can get you to come in 3 minutes, please, if we can stick to time so that we can get everyone who wants to speak.
Oh, 3 minutes. Whoa. Wow. I pray I will be able to stick to time. Good evening, the obedient family. Good evening, magnificent dude. Thank you to all obedient, Edo obedient. Those from Edo State and those not from Edo State. Me tuba o. Obie san tuba o. Oh yeah. This August meeting to me is very, very, very important. I'm the most happiest person because we need to call for something like this because this state own is always extra obedient. This state, Edo State, or anything Edo State is always special. I was having my fear. My fear. I know they sleep again, honestly, for Edo State matter. Could be me like it will be passed. I was not happy as I was what's happening? Okay, this one is contesting. Labour Party is already having many candidates. That's not my business. That's not my business. If they let them be 100. My own business is obedience. anything obedient, just count me out, because they were the one that actually believed in this movement. Now only obedient, nothing more. Now they carry this election for shoulder. If I talk about the things I did during the campaign, me personally, not money, the level of campaign alone, sometimes I'll be proud of myself.
Odiga, you have less than a minute and a half to go, so please wrap it up.
Okay. So, going forward, they say, united we stand, divided we fall. When two brothers fight till death, a stranger will inherit their property. What I mean by that is that I'm looking at the situation from where the things are going, whereby all obedient will just need to come together and put one person forward. One person, because some money bags from PDP, they are already in Labour Party. Money bags. See, I will not say what you like. I will not say anything that will be satisfactory to your conscience. But I will just tell you the truth. Money bags are already in Labour Party. And I always say it is obedient that own Labour Party. It is us that own Labour Party. Whose candidates they accessible to reach out to? We will need to study that. Whose candidates really post seriousness? See, there's what we call roadside candidates. Roadside candidates. They will just gather supporters.
Sorry
They'll
to
gather supporters.
sorry.
Odiga, we got to cut you.
Yeah, sorry. Just 30 seconds, just round up your thoughts, please, and then...
Okay. There's what we call roadside politicians, roadside candidates. They will just gather obedience. They will gather all of us. They will say they are contesting for so position. Before you know, one money back politician will just go and meet them. They will say, I surrender my ticket to the person, or I don't step down for so person. Me, as an obedient, faithful one from Migwebe, Edo State, Esama for that in general, I will not support anyone who is not a true obedient. I will not.
Thank you. Sorry, I had to meet you there. Thank you very much, Odigio Sarah, for that submission. So I will go to Annette first before I come to Mr. Stephen, because I'm aware again Mr. Stephen's going for the top role in our state, and I want to give him at the same time that I've given Dr. Loretta. So Annette, if I can get you to come in to give your 3-minute submission before we go to Mr. Stephen. Thank you.
And let me say this real quick, guys. Every aspirant that would be speaking, please, we just need you to introduce yourself and talk about why you're vying for this position. Just those two. Talk about yourself, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and tell us why you're vying for the position. Let's go straight, cut all those other campaign, I want this, I want that. Please stick to that for time purposes. Anybody that has any question, the max question you're going to be asked by anybody or the number of people here is 3 questions. After that, we move to the next person. Please, and when you're answering the question, please be direct. Please go straight to your answer. I beg of you. We have ample time, plenty more time for campaigning, plenty more time to engage the people here, plenty more time to talk to your constituency. We would have a one-on-one conversation with everybody. For now, today, please, let's just stick to that. I beg of you guys. And I would say it again. Whatsoever you are, when you are up here to speak, please, let's be respectful and be mindful of the person we're directing questions to and the tone at which we're directing our questions. I beg of you guys. Thank you all. Let's enjoy this conversation piece moving forward. Annette, the space is yours. Annette, please unmute your mic and speak. Thank you.
I stand on all existing protocols. My relationship with Edo State is very complex, but I thank God that is one state I love with all my heart. Please, anybody coming up in Edo State should tell us how they are going to solve the complex road problem we have. Right now, there are no accessible roads in Edo State. I used to hear of Obomudia when he was governor in Bendel State, how every road was tarred. Right now, when you go to Edo State, you can hardly access any village, any town, any local government headquarters. You can't go anywhere. Towards Uromi, no road. Agenebode side, no road. Auchi, no road. So anybody who is coming up to ask us to support them as obedience must tell us how we are going to open up the Edo State so that people can come in and go out the way we used to come in and go out. It's a very close state to almost every trajectory of Nigeria, whether the east, whether the north, whether the south or the west. Yet, it's not accessible by road for now. Secondly, what Niger was trying to say, anybody that supported what Obaseki did in these last 4 years is not worthy of our paying attention to such a person. Because the Obaseki we saw in these second 4 years was a nightmare to all of us, whoever supported him. And anybody of conscience, we know that what Obaseki did during this last election is not something that any person of conscience can keep quiet about. We need to know, the person need to give us a template of what they want to do with our young population. Edo State has one of the youngest population in this country. We have young men and women. They must tell us what are their plans for this young, very young population that we have. And
Okay, ma'am, can I please come in here?
yeah.
I think we've heard you for now. So please, we would like to allow any of the aspirants respond to you, whosoever wants to. And I believe at least one or two of them up here would respond to you. So,
please, before you, I want to say something again. Whoever we want to entrust with our mandates as Edo people must have past records we can look back to. And it must agree with what we believe as obedience. Thank you.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put up a link. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me, please?
Yes,
I'm going to put
go
up.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to put up a link up on the Jumbotron. If you know you are obedient and you are 100% positive that you want the best for Edo State and you want to help build Edo State, irrespective of who you are, I would put you, I want us all to be in a WhatsApp group for now. And when we get things up and running, I would want every Edoite that is fully obedient and believes in this mission to please register on the website, your phone number and your name, and you would get a confirmed response. All your information are secured and all your information are safe at the same time. So nobody is going to do anything with them, but we need to keep record for our purposes and to make sure we get this right. When the time comes, you would know why we're doing this. So for now, I'm going to put the link up there. Join if you're truly an obedient in Edo State. That's all I would say. So, Esimeme, go ahead.
Thank you, Big Mac. Annette, thank you very much for your questions. So you've got two main questions, good roads and young population. I'm just sorry, can I get you to mute your mic a bit, please? Thank you. So I'm just conscious that we've got three people who I know are I've seen information on social media are going for the top job, and I think it's only fair that we give all of them the opportunity to answer the question. The only thing is that answer would then lead us into sort of campaigning style, and today we're trying to do introduction. So what I will do is I'll get Mr. Stephen to come in to give his introduction, and then we'll then have Rabbi Isan Fesson give their submission, and then invite trans if we can get Benjamin to come in as well to then do his introduction, and before we get them to sort of give their responses to the question that you asked, if that's okay. So Mr. Stephen, if I can get you to come in to just introduce yourself to the house. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very delighted to be here. For want of time, I will just thank the host, the co-host, those in the speaker section, and everyone listening. Thank you for giving us your time to be on this very important space. I am Stephen Ogbemude Osemige, born and raised in GRA, Benin, Oredo, but my father and my mother are from Umode and Orioma, respectively. I'm from Igole Nisi, particularly on your way to Abudu. Early education is Ebenezer Primary School in GRA. Secondary school was ICC in MMWay, Immaculate Conception College. I lived there for a long time until I couldn't seem to get into Uniben. So I went to UNN for my college or university education, where I read geoinformatics and survey at the Enugu campus. Went after school, served in Abuja for my NYSC, worked there in Abuja for 2 years before moving to join Shell in the oil and gas, worked there for 5 years, relocated to the United States and New York particularly, and worked in the real estate industry for the longest, till now. I have also been very active as far as leading from the front. In my secondary school, I was one of those student leaders, and also in university, particularly, that's where my leadership and interest in serving came to the fore as the president of Edo Students Association in UNN back in the day. Also part of the National Edo Student Movement. I was national PRO for National Association of Edo State Students. And it kind of involved me into coming to Uniben all the time, because Uniben was the center at the time, meeting other student leaders. And also during my time in school, I was fortunate to be found worthy to serve in a committee by the then Vice Chancellor, who appointed a 5-man committee to hold forth for the student union government for a year. And I was the welfare director for the school. Not elected, but I served and did the job of a welfare officer for SUG. And that made me involved with NANS a little bit. That's for the undergraduate study. And after that, I kept on with the civil society engagement, working in Shell. I also moved around those states, communities, doing community work, contributing my quota to help people around. In the United States also, I did my master's in the Southwest Minnesota State University. Leadership came calling again, and I was also the president of African Students Association here, because the need was, they were not quite serious. They didn't know the potential of what galvanizing African students could mean. So I had to revamp the student body I also serve as Black Student Union leader. That's a conversation for another day because it involves Americans and the struggle for equality here. But what kind of struck me, I've always stayed away from partisan politics. The Labour Party is my first political party to pick up a card. I've always wanted to be away from politics because I was raised to see it as dirty. But my journey towards getting involved politically has now been working for our principal over a year now and studying the fact that he came into the race and knowing what he did in Anambra State. And during this journey, campaigning across our state and across our country, it revealed to me what our country and our state lack. So to answer the second question, which is, as I round off, is why I want to contest, why I'm offering myself. I look at the field, I feel that Chino Achebe was right when he said the trouble with Nigeria is fairly and squarely leadership. We don't have good people you can trust, people who can give their word and you take it to the bank. We don't have that in politics. Peter Obi is the first I have seen, and I looked at the field. I said, if we don't right now stake our claim as obedient in a very obedient state to make sure we have someone we can trust, verify everything he says, and someone who believes in the new Nigeria that Peter Obi has sold, will be shortchanged, like some states have already been shortchanged. So I said, however inconvenient, I will put myself out there to address the issues I have identified. And my sister that spoke is very right. But I would argue that the biggest problem in our state is not necessarily the road, it's actually insecurity, which is very close to the lack of good road infrastructure and other kinds of infrastructure. So why am I running? I'm running because I understand that insecurity is our biggest problem, followed by lack of infrastructure, which is tied to also the broader unemployment for the very, very vibrant, talented young population. So I don't want to campaign. I'll stop here so far. And thank Mag and everyone else. I will take the questions as they come specifically. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen. Can I invite Rabbi Isan Fesson to please come in? Thank you.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Magnific dude, everybody, all of you. First of all, I want to thank everybody. It's not easy. Because to be an aspirant, I know what it takes. In Edo State has been a more of, everybody's up for the struggle, perhaps. Everybody's kind of like more of like a leader in Edo State. So I want to commend everyone who is about to contest and who is up for it. But I want to also say something. Even as a contestant, we should also consider what is called the equity, fairness, and justice. Equity, fairness in everything we're doing. And for me personally, I've been a PDP card carrying member, but I know why I left. Because of equity, fairness, and justice. This is my own this is what I believe in. And I also believe that if we want to do something, even in Edo State, we should also consider the principles of fairness, equity, and justice. And while we're doing that, we'll pick out somebody who is who can address those problems that we face. Because I believe in every particular villages, we have a good leader in every particular villages in the 18 local government. I believe that. So one can still lead while we also focus on the issues we have, the issues of erosion, the issue of bad roads, the issue of, expanding the roads too, minus the bad roads, we have the issue of healthcare. So while we focus on that, but we should first of all consider, I will still repeat myself, consider the issue of equity, fairness, and justice. Because for that, I will only support somebody who has always considered that principle first before we go forward. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much for introducing two new words into the conversation, equity and fairness. And for that, I would want to invite Benjamin, because I have seen on social media that I know he's still going for the top job. So if I can invite Benjamin to be able to at least introduce himself and just tell us why you're going for the top job in the state, if that's okay.
Good evening, everybody. I want to say thank you for this opportunity to be part of this great program. First, I wasn't invited for this meeting. Maybe it actually escaped the organizers. And somebody sent me the link and I decided to join. And thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to even introduce myself. My name is Benjamin Mayor. Yamaho Yamidana from Mesa Northeast local government of Edo State. That's where I was born and that's where I grew up from. This is not the today of campaign, and we are not even campaigning yet because we have learned to follow due process. And I don't want to start going and start telling people what I will do or what I will not do. That's the reason why you see that I've instructed most of the people who are very close to me now to be printing more flyers apart from the ones that were created from the beginning. When the time comes, we'll continue to do the right thing. I'm still very much on the ways. If I'm obedient, it's a very good question. I think that is very, if somebody asks me that kind of question, should be like a rhetoric question. I should leave that one to the people who are present there. If I'm actually obedient and the kind of role I play since Peter Obi moved from PDP to Labour Party. I'm not saying people are more obedient than the other, but I think if you mention like 5 or 4 obedient from Edo State, then my name should be attached to somebody. I should leave it there for now, and I want to thank the organizers. Maybe my name or my position or whether maybe only for the same position I actually escaped most of it. That's why I was not informed, and I didn't have time to prepare for this. I'm actually on holiday in another country, and you can hear the children music playing. So my kids are all over me. So I will just be here listening for now, since we are not campaigning or saying what we want to do. And if you go to my profile, there is also a link that I put out there. Like I always say, you cannot treat a patient without diagnosing that patient. I took our time to go around the state where I was born, Edo State, to assess the state of things and the problem that is currently ravaging the entire state. And we have also found a solution to it. If you go through the website, you see those things for yourself. Those problems are there, have been identified, and way to solve it has also been identified. They are all placed there. And I want to wish you a very happy viewing and a happy reading. I'm not a professional in creating website, and I'm not also a writer. So if you find anything that you think is not supposed to be there, please drop a comment so I can make my changes. I will still be here. I'll still be listening. Anybody have question for me? I think I will be able to answer if you guys don't mind the music, the children music coming from the background. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay, thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, and I would, on behalf of everybody and the voice, apologize that you were not informed or the invite wasn't sent to you. It is obviously an oversight. But I'm glad you're here and you're able to speak your mind. I like that. And moving forward, we know you are an aspirant. Whatever concerns Edo State should concern you, and we would do the needful next time to make sure you are carried along when necessary. Thank you, man, and appreciate your understanding. All right, quickly, let's hear from Jimmy. Jimmy, you have something to say? Go ahead.
Thank you guys. Thank you everybody. Thank you, Ogamag. Well done, well done. I'm not from Edo. I just have one question for all the contestants. Does any one of you have any criminal record? Because I will search you. And if you do, I will put it out there. So if you do, come out and speak about it. Let us know what happened, because I will search you. I will turn you upside down. I will use everything to search. If you get traffic tickets, I go find them out. I will find it out, because that's the same thing I did with Peter Obi. And I love the fact that we want to support ourselves, but we need to lead by example. We need to lead by example. So it's probably going to be one of the criteria we'll be using in disqualification. So I'll do the search and I'll send it to Ogamag and whoever is in charge. I'm not from Edo, but I'm supporting good governance. I just thought I should put that out there to let people know. I yield and I'll drop to listener now. Thank you.
Let me report myself before you find out. I was given ticket twice, Berlin station and Frankfurt station because because I park on the wrong way. So that is the only thing I have that is still in my name.
Thank you very much, Jimmy, for that. Okay, so Mr. Benjamin, can I just note the Edo voice space, and I do echo Mag's what Mag has stated. It was definitely an oversight. I think if I'm being completely honest, I don't know if specific invitations were actually sent out. The space we just sort of meet, and it's just I saw you on the space, and I have seen information around your you vying for the post, and I felt in terms of fairness and equity, as others have spoken, it's only fair that we can get you to just just introduce yourself to the house. So thank you very much for joining us this evening, so we can have the conversation can flow. Can I just get oh, are we losing people? Apologies. Okay, I think the next person who was going to speak has sort of dropped down. Can I just get Osaro to come in? Osaro, you've had your hands longer, and then DJ Freaky and sorry, Osaro, if you come in next, and then Niger Watch, if you can come in before DJ Freaky. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Simema. Great job. Walt, great job. And of course, Big Mac. And good evening to everybody. I just wanted to be here listening. I decided to raise my hand, because of what Mr. Benjamin said. Mr. Benjamin, initially the space wasn't for, aspirants to come in, or we are going to, if they feel they want to stick to the topic, probably introduce themselves, is also fine. As you can see, the heading is obedience, our Edo, our pride. We must get it right. And it seems a lot of people are not talking of how we're going to get it right. Now, if you're obedient and you're in a Edo state, now, do you have your voter's card? That is one. Are you supporting the party from the ward level down to the LGA level and the state level? So if you are not doing that, please, I think Big Mag has posted the link. It's up on the Jumbotron. Please just follow it, so that you can get in there, so that we can keep this going. You understand? So for me, I don't have a question for any of them, because for me, it's not yet time. Thank God we are getting to know more of them. Subsequently, yeah, probably we're going to do those ask them the tough questions. And do people, let's tone it down. Niger Watch, I know you are passionate. Everybody's feeling the brunt of the way Obaseki has mismanaged the state, our dear state. Thank God is leaving next year, and we don't want to repeat that same mistake. You understand? So, good job, guys. I'll still be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Osaro. Osamama, please, can you look for MD, what's his name, and bring him up, please. He has been here since I don't use iPhone. I use Android, so I really can't see him. He has been here since the space started. He has requested for the mic. He called my attention to it. And I can't see him. Honestly, I can't. So kindly help me get him and bring him up. I beg of you.
Okay,
Thank you.
fine. I'll look out for him. Niger Watch, if I can get you to come in and speak, because you've spoken before, so just 2 minutes, please. Thank you. Niger Watch.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you guys called me. I apologize for that. All right. I want to say thank you once again to the organizers. You guys are doing marvelously well. I appreciate what you guys are doing. It's not easy to do this, I often join this space, and I'm learning from every one of you right here. Okay. I just wanted to speak because of the Stephen, Mr. Stephen, one of the aspirants. I want to ask you, it's just a question because this is my first time. It's not like Madame Loretta earlier on. I know her personally, but you, I have not heard about your name before, please. I want to know, can you tell us your age, one, and two, what have you done in those states before you left for America? I just want to hear that. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, well, age. Interesting. I'll start with that. I'm 38 years old, be 39 in October. What have I done in Nigeria before I left? Like I said, I grew up in Nigeria there, those states particularly. Went to University of Nigeria, returned back to Edo State. I still live in Edo State actually, back and forth. So I've done quite a lot. I have a non-profit, Save Nigerian Group USA, reaching out to different parts of our states, giving out scholarship in different ways, supported education for young people, do sports competition. Recently, we just footed the bill for someone that was assaulted by the police vehicle riding over a guy, a person in Ekboma. My people went there too for that. So we continue to do that. Also, I still very much engaged with the Nigerian National Association of Edo State Students, following up with them as a former leader in that association, trying to make sure the voice of Edo students is very relevant in the discussion. Like I said, I've not been partisan politician. Try to be away on the civil society side. So, yeah, I on my website is quite a lot, stephenossemigate.org. You can learn more about me there. Thank you, my brother.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Niger Watch. We do have quite a lot of requests. I'm really sorry to cut you short. Please, we're going to, do further spaces where we will have time for each person going for our top job. Please, it's just that we have quite a lot of requests. DJ Freaky, if I can get you to just come in 2 minutes, and then we go to Joe Obedient. Please, if you do want to speak, to raise your hands. Apart from the people 3 that are going for our top job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, this evening. Again, thank you everyone for the space. And I want to thank everybody who have spoken so far, both aspirants and speakers. But I think this message is said directly at the aspirants who have spoken so far, and maybe those who are yet to speak. Please, we want to do things in accordingly, in a more professional way. That simply means what is retreated now. Any or every aspirant that has spoken so far, please, I want to beg you or ask you to get in touch with Osaro, because as at now he's the acting secretary, and have that whatever you said before, that your intention to be governor of Edo State or whichever capacity, chairman or whatever. So please get in touch with him, because we are going to invite everybody individually. That's why I tried to say before, today is mainly for introduction and not for any form of campaign. So if we are going to do everything today, we have maybe 3 or 4 people already here, so we won't leave here for 3 days. So we are going to specifically invite everyone who are interested and who get in touch back channel with Osaro to register his our name. We will figure that out when is best possible, when is the right time. Sunday or Monday that we normally have our space here, to announce to everybody, both in-house and both people here on space, and put it on whichever advice we can do possibly that this person, it can be Benjamin, it can be Loretta, it can be Stephen, but I want to say it's one person each spacing, so that we can all channel our questions to this candidate and to person, and to know why he or she is, vying for to be the first citizen of the state. So it is more proper that way. It is more professional, and that is exactly what we are going to do. Any moment from now, please. Anybody coming up again to introduce himself or herself for any position is going to be strictly on introduction of who you are, your school, your age, and all the things we need to know about you as a person vying to become a governor of a state or chairman or whatever. So that is why I just want to come back again. Please, let's stick to this so that we can round up in time and prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow is another space time, same place here. Space is going to be here as well at the same time. So prepare yourself, and if we decide to bring Benjamin tomorrow or Loretta or Steve, depends on who get in touch with Busaro, then we're going to bring that out. And that person we are bringing up tomorrow is going to be the only person we're going to be paying our attention to. And just like Busaro have also lined out, please follow up the WhatsApp Mr. Big Man have put on Jumbotron if you want to be a member of that WhatsApp group, because we're going to be collecting data for really truly obedience. So please, let's get it right, and let's go back again, because we are going again back to and forth to this campaign stuff. And we also should bear in mind that you as a candidate, you know the law. So when you start to campaign now, when it is not officially flagged off, it can have an implication on you yourself. So be mindful on how you introduce yourself. We don't want anybody to drag us and say they use a EDO Voice platform to start campaigning. This thing is being recorded. You don't know who is here. So be mindful of yourself. Don't be too overzealous. So please, let's get it right. I yield back. Thank you.
Thank you, DJ Freaky. Joe Obedient, do you want to come in?
Yeah, good evening, guys. My submission is going to be very short. Thank you for everyone. I think I'm seeing a fourth candidate, so all the candidates that are coming to run for the top job in Edo State, thank you for coming. My only submission is I take a beg una, those of us who in the ground with the beg una, say, if by any chance any of una, one of una come out as candidate, please support the rest. Don't put to another party. If you can even put that as something you say you must do. If you lose the primaries, we know not everybody will win. If you lose the primaries, please back people that are run, whoever wins it under the Labour Party, because we're trying to build a structure. So please, or we're trying to strengthen our structure. Please, that's what I'll beg you. Especially those of you that have the support online. Please, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joe Obedient. Jones 1604, if I can get you to come in and give your submission. Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate the host and all listeners, all protocols observed. I feel very happy to note that Edo State is organizing candidates for Labour Party, or at least aspirants for Labour Party. It's great. But I wish to plead with you guys. Can we make sure that the primaries are conducted well? We don't want to go through the controversies that dogged Imo State primaries in Labour Party. We keep saying Labour Party has not been so well organized and what have you, but a lot of people have been joining the Labour Party. So please, I am pleading with you guys, especially aspirants, try and iron it out now such that the primary will be well conducted. That is so important. The process of getting a candidate is so important to us so that we can know this is the candidate we have. Then most of us, if not all of us, can support. That's the first thing I wish to plead with all of you aspirants. Make sure it's done well. Then, after it's done and the candidate comes up, can we all be united to support whoever wins? At least I've heard 3 of the candidates already. Maybe I didn't join as early as I should have, but at least I've heard 3. So you guys are speaking well, and we're yet to assess you fully. But one person will imagine all this. When that one person emerges, please, can the rest of you support he or she? It's important too, because politics is in the numbers. And then I would play with you guys amongst yourselves. When one of you emerges, can you try and pick your deputy from amongst you? That will also help to unify then the rest. Get united behind these candidates so that we can put a unified front to win this. Because politics is all in the numbers. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be tough. Make no mistake, the money bags and what have you have come in. But if you remain united and work well, we will have a true obedient Imagine as a candidate. And we can all support with our full chest. I yield the mic.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. This is a work in progress. We're heading somewhere, and by the grace of God, we will get it right. I'm just going to leave it at that. All right? Let's just trust the process. All what you said is well noted. We're working towards something, and we will get it right by the grace of God. Thank you, my brother.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Jones and Big Mac. We've got quite a lot of requests, so I do want to make an appeal. I would have to drop some speakers. I would still leave the 3 those who are vying for the top position. I think Joe Biden mentioned a 4th person. Please, I'm not sure who that 4th person is. If you can just send me a DM so at least I can bring you up to do an introduction. You know, one thing I know about Edo State is that equity and fairness is something that's important to us, Edo Light. So it'd be good to invite you. So if you do want to speak, I can see Chief MD, you've got your mic. I will invite you to speak and then I'll go to Ose. But please, if you do want to speak, can you raise your hands? Thank you. So, Chief M, did you want to come in?
Yes, please. Good evening. And it's a great privilege and honor to be on this platform. Apparently, it has been difficult to locate my name on this platform. My name is Chief Daniel Igongo Akwemoka Matthews. I'm an aspirant candidate for the Labour Party. A little brief about me. I'll start with my origin. My great-grandfather is from Ewehimi. I'm a true son of the soil. My grandfather moved from Ewehimi to Omodio, from Omodio to Odugbe for the last 200 to 300 years where we settled. So I've always claimed Odugbe in Amedosha as my place of origin. That's Eastern, Central, that's Northeast. And from that, my own father moved from Odugbe to Lagos, and from Lagos to UK, studying in Cambridge. That's my dad, and he's an engineer and a pastor right now. I myself, I do not have the privilege to have grown up in Edo State, but that does not deter from the true nature of my own origin. I'm a true son of the soil, a true meaning of what it means to be the true son of the soil. I studied in UK, spent most part of my life in UK up to the level of master's degree. However, my core sense is the urgency of now. I was the founding father of Labour Party UK. In UK, you can go and verify that. I was the one who put all the coalition together that invited the national chairman, that's Barrister Abure, to the October 1st rally. And the first person to invite him, I would set the blueprint of how to have Labour Party across the world. And that was with it, we were able to pull out the coalition all together and pull them together to invite him, honor him, host him, and being part of different events in UK. You can go and verify that as well. In my own little grace, we've been able to set up other Labour Party across some African states and in France and in Germany and as well in Paris. We are in Germany, in France as well. that you can go and verify because I have the chairman's name with me. In addition to that, I've also helped. I came to Nigeria just about a week before. I lived in Lagos. I lived in both Lagos. My family are in UK. I lived in Lagos. I have a business, if I made company in Lagos, which we do insurance security for uniform officers across uniform and vigilante officers. Let's put that aside. I'm not promoting that. And last election, I was predominantly campaigning across Southwest, not necessarily to win the whole Southwest, is to increase the visibility and also possibly vote count in the Southwest. Paid a fortune, personal money mostly, donated mightily to Enugu because I have a personal relationship there. While I was the UK Labour Party chairman, you can go and verify, I created state chairman to replicate the same state chairman they have across Nigeria for the sole purpose to connect every Nigerians in United Kingdom directly to their state so they can raise money directly to their state, they can fund campaign directly in their state, and also open opportunity for them to have direct relationship with their state. You can go and verify that. In that process, in that result, we have today Abia State a governor and the chairman from UK for Abia State, Sir Nwabolo, and Anabe is now a commissioner of youth and sport. To glory be to God to our effort. Majority of the candidates that are running Edo State, to narrow it down to Edo State, we personally financed from UK. Some lost, some won. And many of these people I know by name and by face. So glory be to God to that. And although that does not mean that they give me the rightful way or rightful path to declare myself and the heir apparent to become the Edo State governor. No, it's not. The Edo State governorship or the political position it's not an immunocal thing. It's not an aspiration that because it's an entitled position. It's not. And I personally believe in this agenda. However, I'm not running to be the governor of Eastern Land. I'm running to be the governor of the whole of Edo people. As such, my agenda and policy is narrowly looking at the whole aspect of Edo State in general. I'm going to be 50 years old November 2nd, so please, all the cakes and well wishes I will really appreciate. At least that would be great. So what is the reason and purpose why I'm running? It's because of the urgency of now. The urgency of now that a true son of the soil, that like my vision of my grandfather had, that made him move from Owehimi to Odugbe to where he is 200 years now plus dead. The same core vision of my own father for him to leave Odugbe all the way to Lagos to UK and all whatnot. That one day, and the same vision I had when I was trying to set up the Labour Party UK chapter in Nigeria, that one day, those of us in the diaspora and those of us outside Edo State, that us, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, will find our way back home and say, this is where my ancestors come from. This is where I belong. And this is where I want to contribute all my skill set that I've gained over the world. When they say go back home, it shouldn't scare anyone, most especially those in the diaspora. Come on. But you cannot preach what you don't believe or what you sacrifice to do. You can only assume. But if I'm not willing to do the sacrifice, a change is not a change unless the change is change. And no change comes without sacrifice. If I do not believe in the change, then it's not worth sacrificing or expect anybody to do so. And I'm very grateful that there's a lot of aspirants outside the border of Edo State. But our children, you see, if my grandfather does not have the vision of leaving Ewekimi to Odugbe, if my father did not have the vision of leaving Odugbe to Lagos and then to UK, and then me is the full circle of going back to Urumi, to Amedosha, to Odugbe. It's an honor and a privilege that our generation must look inward so that we can never remain second class anywhere else in the world. That is part of the reason why I'm running. I'm running because I truly believe it's not an entitlement position. It's a privileged position. And I have a clear agenda, a clear purpose of why. From education reform. I'm a social capitalist person. I believe in social capitalist enterprises. First, education reform. We have over 60% of Edo youth who are not in education. Out of those 60%, we have over 35% illiteracy rate. At the age of 15, majority of Edo youth are illiterate, can't even read or write. Majority. That's not good enough. I have a social enterprise reform. I see one of the bloated way government make money. They build a primary school, they say it costs 100 million. No, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is infrastructural rebuilding with social enterprise. We look at the interlands where there are no school and around. We say, go build the school, use social enterprise. When you build the school, you run as a private enterprise, but all the students there will pay you for them. But it will be government-run school in a partnership with social enterprise. Now, Edo State make 4 billion a month. Out of that 4 billion, I would dedicate $1 billion of that to re-educating with social enterprise. Part of another thing is we have close majority of the youth in Edo State within 18 and 35 or 40. Many of them we are either uneducated or educated jobless graduate, job seekers graduates. And we have a very young, vibrant youth. What I would do is to create a technical college with a social enterprise in mind. That I attended this fully funded
I'm
technical
really
college.
sorry to do this. I'm really sorry to do this, Chief MD. Sorry if I can just come in just to say, if I can get you to just sort of do a 1 minute roundup, please. We do have quite a lot of requests, and there is a question that we do need an answer for, please. I'm really sorry to, interrupt your flow. I really don't want to do this, but it's just really a brief introduction and
Okay.
telling us why. Yeah, if you can.
I apologize. I'll yield to the rules. And I hope one day I'll be invited to go deep in terms of policies, agenda, specific policy agenda in terms of what we want to do or what we want to achieve. Like I said, my name is Chief Daniel Igongo Akwimoka Matthews, a true son of the soil. Go verify. The former UK founder, chairman of UK Labour Party, go verify. And also a true believer of the obedient movement. Done everything across Nigeria. I've donated, supported, and I've always been behind. You can go verify. And I know all the apparatus of the party. One of the things I want to make clear, I know there's a distinction between obedient and the party, but please, I want to beg everybody that the supremacy of the party is paramount. This is one of the fights we started fighting towards last election, where we start pushing the logo, the poster, and everything. Papa, Mama, Peking. The party is who nominate the candidate. The party is who conduct the election, and the party is who will eventually pick the candidate. So all obedient members, just like me, should please look towards the supremacy of the party, be engaged in the party. Do not separate yourself from the party. If you want a true representative choice in this election coming, the delegates are going to be from the party, not just an outsider from the party. So get engaged, get involved, be part of the party. The supremacy, don't forget that. I'm a party man, I'm a labor man, and I'm also an obedient. But the truth be said, the supremacy of the party is paramount, and we should work towards with the party. God bless. I yield the floor.
Thank you very much, Chief MD. Apologies, I had to cut you in your flow. It's just that we are going to invite all of you who have spoken this evening for a separate space where you will be able to at least talk about your policies in a little bit more detail. Apologies, I had to interrupt you there. We've got quite a lot of requests. Ose, you had your hand up, but it's gone down. I don't know if you want to speak because you had your hand up for
Sorry,
a while.
host.
Okay, Jimmy, do you want to come in
host
quickly?
and co-host. Just give me a few seconds. I just need to confirm something. Mr. Benjamin, I just saw the stuff you spoke about. Yeah, but I think you paid for the fine, and it's all sorted out. And Mr. Steven, I just did a search on you as well. The age is correct. The telephone number, email, everything is here. But I have one particular issue I saw under your name. And it happened on the March 16, 2019. And the case number is 061GT190071996-00. And it has to do with let me see. It says criminal record, but it doesn't look like one. And I think it has to do with highway failure to yield right of the way. Okay, it's a traffic it's a traffic ticket, but I think you actually went to court for that. You fought it out, and the disposition was not guilty. Brilliant. That is not guilty. So obedient is clean, 100%. He's not guilty. That means it went there. He proved it to them that it was wrongly charged, and the disposition was here. The case is closed. Not guilty. He's clean, obedient, 100%. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you, Jimmy.
As you did verify me within 2 minutes, so as you did verify me within 2 minutes, so I not just want to get your time. There are plenty of people where they fear for this Twitter space. Are you not one of them? I have not told you in any way how I went to court regarding this ticket. So you need to tell us, where do you work? Do you work with the FBI or what? Jimmy, I'm serious. I don't understand. Where do you work? That's really crazy, man.
Thank you very much, Jimmy, for that. Ose, can I get you to come in?
No.
And then we'll go to...
I think we need to hear from Bernard first, because I think he has been here for the longest time. And before we say...
Okay, all right. That's fine. Mr. Bernard.
You have the floor. Good evening, the good people of Edo State. It's an honor to be here. I really love the energy. But I'll be fast and quick. My comment is to Mr. Benjamin. When you came up, you said you were displeased that you were not invited, and I'm really not sure we really the host really specially invited anyone at all. But if they did, then we are honestly sorry about that. But you missed a point. You just came and told us you're on vacation. I don't know, there are some I don't want to call them first timers on this space that are just listening. I would like to know more about you. Give us some little information on your CV. Where do you work before? Like when I listened to Loretta, Mr. Steven, Chief MD, they give us some of their background. It's not campaigning, but I personally am just interested in you, and I would like to know more about you. Tell me where you're from. Which school did you go to? Where do you work, or where have you worked before? Your age, just basic information to really help you. One of my friends used to say, or still say, that it's hard enough to get an opportunity. You don't have to force yourself to get it twice. Thank you.
Should I respond?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Like I said, people should try and manage the noise. I'm very sorry. I want you to also understand I didn't use the word that I'm displeased. I didn't use that word. I did not use that word, and I will never use that word on anybody. What I meant was that I wasn't informed that space was going to be going on. Sometimes those people who are present here hosting these spaces, I always attend spaces whenever I'm free. When you're a family man and you go to a holiday for a different country and your kids are with you, it's always difficult for you to handle them, especially the cars moving around and you don't know the area very well. So that's what people should bear with me with the noise, and people are the balcony and talking and all that. So that is for that. I just wanted to stick to the rules, like what Big Mac said and Madam Osieme and the rest of other hosts who are present here, that we shouldn't be campaigning or using any word like a campaign, because what we have learned so far during this Peter Obi's campaign, I think that was a big lesson for all of us. But now that you have asked a specific question, I will just try and throw more light into that. I was born into the family of Oyamidan in 1985, January 15th. That means I'm 38 years old, and on the January 15, 2024, then I will be 39. So that is for that. I went to River Primary School within the same quarter where I was born. When I finished from there, I went to Word of Faith. Word of Faith is a very well-known group of school, which was funded by the late pastor in Edo State, late Bansi Daosa, Bishop of the Blessed Memory.
And when I finished from there in 2005, by the grace of God, I had the opportunity of getting a job with the federal government in one of those security agencies, which I will be able to talk about later if I'm given the clearance to do that, because the kind of place I work, I actually work in a very sensitive department. So when the time comes, I will be able to do that. I'm still asking for the clearance to do that. So once I get the clearance, I will throw more light into that. I got an admission into the University of Benin to study accounting in year 2007-2008 academic session. Graduated in 2004, and for the beginning it was a part-time program, but as long run it was blended and become a full-time. Life was a little bit unbearable and difficult for me, combining work and full-time, and it wasn't easy, but at the end of the day we were able to skate through. That is for that. And I didn't stop there. In 2013 I got an admission to study in one of those universities in America, which I did not go because I was still running my master's BSc program. I stayed behind because I wanted to finish that. In 2013 ending 2014, I got an admission again into a university here in Germany to study counseling on the conflict resolution. And that time I just decided to take it. So I decided to pen down my resignation letter, which was honorably accepted, and I was given a medal for that. I came here to Germany and started another new life. I started the program, started doing the program for about 6 months, then I put a stop to it for me to get some financial backup because the funds was no longer there. Then I worked for extra 1 year, went back to the same program, then I finished it. Since then, I've been well established here in Germany, and also in Greece, where I have my second family. And then God blessed me. I was able to have my own company here in Germany and all over Europe. A well-known company, logistic company that deals on supply chain and management, which I have a contract under Amazon. Amazon is a worldwide company, so that's where I've been working. And I've also worked in so many different places like Hotel Maritime. Worked in Hotel Maritime as a management assistant, and from there I moved on to manage one hotel for like 6 months before I went back to school. I went back to school to do my Master in International Business Management. And I also had the opportunity to study from the University of Athens, where I did my supply chain and management area. So the recent certificate that I have, that I just had, was in 2022. Excuse me, please. Sorry, you guys should please bear with me. The recent certificate I have is a master degree program, which I just have in international business management from a very reputable university here in Germany, in northern side of the Germany. So all of they're all there on my profile. At the moment, I'm working with a worldwide company, American company, my dream company that I've always prayed to work with since I came to Germany. The name of that company is called the Enterprise. Enterprise is an American company that that have a very big tent, and they have a lot of, we're into cars, renting car companies, premium cars and exotic cars, and also selling cars and all that. So these are the things we're doing. So I'm currently at the management level where I'm working and still learning, because the program I'm indulging myself in is like, I never take no for an answer, and I will never take no for an answer. And the company, if you want to grow, you just need to keep retraining yourself and retraining yourself. So that is for that. Like I said, I don't want to start going into details so that I won't take other people's time. Like what DJ Freaky said, there will be time for each aspirant to come here and tell the general public, especially the Edolite, on what they would do and what they want to do. That is for that. And I believe when the time comes, I will be able to prepare myself It's not that I'm not prepared, I don't know what to do. Like I said, I already have all the solution to what I've found out so far, but at least I should be able to stay in a very conducive environment where my listener will be able to understand the language I'm speaking. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin. I do appreciate that, being on holiday is not very easy. So thank you very much for that detailed response to Mr. Bernard's question. Okay. I'm really conscious that we've got quite a lot of requests. So I will, try and encourage people to please stick within the time. Ose, if I can get you to come in because you had your hand up, and then we'll just get Mr. Chief MD who wants to just give a brief submission, and then we'll just keep the conversation moving. So Ose, if I can get you to come in, thank you.
Oh, thank you, everyone. I'm sincerely grateful that I was able to join up with this space today. I want to stand on already existing protocol. I want to appreciate all the aspirants that put themselves up for this space today. I'm sincerely grateful for every one of you. One thing stand out to me today, which is the fact that a lot of people are passionate about making Edo State better, which is the practical reason why those of us who are very much involved with Edo Voice, we are more interested in this aspect more than any other aspect of things. So I listened very carefully to all of the aspirants talked, and so a lot of things are striking for me. Like the first thing that came to my mind was like, why is it that every aspirant I'm seeing here are all in diaspora? I live in the diaspora too. I live in the UK, but one thing I want to see, you see, when Jamie came earlier, it says something about he's going to scrutinize people, and that's one thing I'm also very good at. Mine might not be on things that Jimmy is very good at. Mine will be on the impact you have had on the community level, because we need to be able to separate people who are just coming into this office based on I feel I can do this from people who knows they can do this, and that will lead me to ask some few questions, just one or two questions, because I will try as much as possible not to ask campaign related questions because it's not yet time for that. The first question I want to ask is, among all the aspirants, there are practically 4 aspirants in this place. Among all the aspirants, is there any one of you that had this ambition of becoming Edo State governor about 3 years ago? And how have you been planning and working towards it? That's first thing. Secondly, my second question will be: a lot of people came in, talked about a few things. I wrote down specifically some things that Mrs. Lorenta talked about, healthcare, tech, a lot of things. Even Chief MD talked about policy and other things. One thing I know about Seki has been very good at is policy. Now, how are you going to do things different from what the current government in Edo State is already doing? Those are the things I would love to ask, but more specifically, how many of you here already had this ambition of becoming the state governor about 3 years ago? Thank you very much.
Okay. Can I just say, can I get the aspirants to just answer the first question? I'm just really conscious that if we get everyone to sort of answer everything, because we do have 2 other questions from the previous speaker, Annette, that hasn't been answered. I'm just conscious that it will become a very long space and it will be more about campaigning. So if I can get the aspirants to just answer the question about aspiration from 3 years ago. So I will go with Benjamin, because I've seen your hand up, then Loretta, and then Mr. Stephen and Chief MD. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother. You asked a very, very question. Let me see, use the word diplomatic question that required diplomatic answer. One thing we should hold ourselves responsible for is being transparent, honest, and truthful to ourselves. 3 years ago, I can tell you no. These aspirations started 2 years ago. I had this aspiration 2 years ago. I had this ambition when I visited Nigeria with my family. That was just 2 years after my marriage. Then after we did our marriage in Nigeria, and then I came back to my base, and I returned back to Nigeria to see things for myself. And that was immediately this guy finished his. This guy was the current governor was inaugurated. So I found out that the things he campaigned with, the things he promised he has done, and apart from the state secretariat in the SAP level, there was nothing to write home about. Like I said, I'm from the Edo Central, so I couldn't find a road to my village. I have to go pass through the Agbo Road and follow. You know, if you know Benin very well, know Edo State, you know what I'm talking about. I was not able to go through Ekpoman and Wonhode and the rest of them. From Wonhode, I have to cut it off and pass through Agbo, come through Biaja, and get to my village in Uromi. So it was just a disheartening situation. Then I began to say, this is what we can actually do, because most of us who have had the opportunity to study abroad and have issues in one way or the other, work here, we see the way the country is being developed by the citizens themselves, by the leaders they elect. So I tell we can actually do this, and I can do it. So, and I also want you guys to know, this is not something somebody will tell you he can do it all alone. You cannot do it all alone. So that is why I just want to clear that it's not a 3 years. It didn't start 3 years ago. Mine started 2 years ago, and I just give you a specific date for that. Thank you, and God bless you.
Loretta, do you want to come in? Thank you. Loretta, are you still with us? Do you want to come in? Okay. Can we go to Chief MD? So Chief MD, if you can respond to the question from Ose, and then have another 2 minutes to respond to the question, and then 2 minutes to give your additional introduction.
Oh, thank you very much for calling me again. I want everybody to listen and listen carefully to me. You see, I personally believe every candidate running have a lifetime ambition to see the greater good in Edo State, to bring the vision and fulfillment to Edo State to everyone. Apart from political opportunists who see the time and the hour and start developing a sense of entitlement, I will not question anyone's integrity or value of why they're running. What I will only differentiate myself with is how do we solve the problem with policy. From a little kid going back with my dad to my village, I've seen the difference. And I've seen how things have moved on and how things have remained stagnant. I've traveled the world. I've had the opportunity to see how things are functioning adequately across the world. So it's not when you start nursing the ambition. It's when you have the gut feeling that things could be better, things could be different, things could be done in a way that reflect the will of the people that matters the most. Yes, some may have had this ambition for 100 years. Some may have developed the ambition like yesterday. But what matters is, what are they trying to do? What are they trying to achieve for the common man? A good education policy that brings opportunity for everybody to aspire, a good public care policy that allow everybody to be covered where 60% have no access, a good economic policy that have people with an enterprise loan to develop, a good road network that allow good function of commerce and trade and free movement, a good security investment that deter or destroy the backbone of corrupt sponsored terrorists, a good regional development that allows the people to grow expeditiously without feeling the need to leave the state, a good traditional leadership that outweigh any political position, that no politician or governor can remove a king, a traditional ruler. The traditional chosen by God, by our ancestors. That's our belief. A politician should not have a right, the power to remove any traditional ruler. That's what we should focus on, not when we have this nursing ambition. And yes, furthermore, somebody said most of these aspirants seems to be based outside Nigeria. Yes, I've lived outside Nigeria back and forth over 30 years. But for the last 2 years plus, I've lived in Nigeria. I live mostly within Lagos, Abeokuta, and Benin. And in addition to that, I have a company in Lagos. Now we're moving to Benin and Abeokuta because of other reasons. And that's it. In addition to that, I'm back to my own background. I would like to just put this across. Yes, my background is in education and public health. I'm a specialist in education and public health, not from a practitioner place, but from a policy and development place. I'm also a business consultant. And my background, I've traveled across the world doing business strategy development. With Silica, I was in Egypt, where when the new government came in, Assisi came in to commercialize the old civil servant, train them how to become commercially oriented rather than profit making, allow them to see social enterprise in public service development rather than just pure what we have in Nigeria. I've also helped with UKBC establish a university in India and as well in Dubai, an affiliated university in Dubai. My background is in education and in public health. I'm a specialist in public health in UK. I help a lot of care homes, care agencies, and care association develop their care policy, develop their care infrastructure, looking at how to save some more. I have investment in care homes, in adult care homes and children care homes. So my background is that, but all that does not matter, regardless of my background. What matters is what are we, the candidate, trying to do for an average Edo man. I could tell you I have all the professional qualification in the world. I could tell you all the wonderful job I've done, but it doesn't matter if what we are trying to do does not have relevance, does not have clarity, does not have sense of purpose for the average man. We're for over 60% of Edo people don't have access to public health. Over 60%. Out of 100,000 Edo women, 520 die at childbirth. If you narrow it down to the percentage, that is every 200 women die during childbirth in 1,000 women that have children. So it means we're losing 200 in 1,000 plus. It's a statistic. Check it. It's there. 15% of adults cannot read and write. Children cannot read and write. We have only 40% of adult children have access to public education. That's what matters. Not when any of us have the dream, the goal, the ambition. It doesn't matter when you do. It matters by the urgency of now. What can you do differently? So everyone listening, I appeal and beg to you, look beyond the titles, look beyond the entitlement, look beyond the rhetoric. Focus on what exactly each one of us are saying we're going to do. We are very familiar with the money bags we come in. That's not the threat. Actually, the more the merrier. Let everybody come. But if we stand on the grounds of integrity and honor, if we stand on the grounds of our own self-value, if it was money, Atiku would have been president 100 times over. If it was money, Tinubu would have won in a landslide. But integrity, value, honor, and above all, trueness. Go and verify.
Chief MD, I'm going to come in here real quick. Please, we're not allowed to campaign. We just answer the question and let's keep it moving, please.
I was trying. I was replying to the question whereby the gentleman asked, "When do you know this ambition?" And I was trying to put it.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be a straight question.
Okay, I apologize.
Straight up
Let me
answer.
rephrase my answer to that.
Yes, sir.
It's very simple. What matters is not when you know the ambition, but rather than when or what you want to do for the average Edo man. So I believe every one of us running have the clear conscience and clear value to run. I'm not going to impute anyone's judgment or anyone's character on that. If you start 10 years ago or you start today, what matters is what are you going to do? And my fellow aspirant, I want to personally congratulate and thank them for even considering this opportunity to serve and bring their experience to the front foot. If by the grace of God I become the candidate, I will work with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome, Ambassador. Welcome, Bruce. Are you here? Can you unmute the mic? Okay, yes. I don't want you to be left out. So please take it from here.
Okay, thank you, Chief MD, for that submission. Okay, I think Nigeria for peace. I think is
just for equity, please, can we get Stephen to respond to this question and then we pass the mic around?
Okay, I think that will work. So, Stephen, if you're here, please.
Hi, well, for this equity word has become a buzzword, but I'll leave that. Thank you very much for. Let me address it. For me, the decision to serve has been a life journey. There was no time I decided to serve. I've always served. I live my life for people, and it's actually a weakness that is a good one. So for me, this is another opportunity to continue what I've always done, serve people. Today, we're talking about serving the people, good people of Edo State. I see a problem. I know I can solve it. My hands are up. So when I started, it's probably when I was born or before. I was predestined for this. Today, I'm raising my hand for you to join me. Let's turn our state around because I know I can solve the problems. I have said it before in other forums. Our problem is not unique. Other people have solved it before. It's not rocket science at all. It's just corruption, nepotism, selfishness. I believe if we have someone that believes in Peter Obi like I do, like we all do in this space, we can be rest assured that those states will work and Nigeria will work for it. Because our problems are insecurity. We can tackle that within 1 month of office. We can democratize security and make sure everybody holds a stake, just like it is abroad. And someone alluded to the fact that most people live abroad. Well, I was born and raised in Nigeria, so Nigeria is still in me everywhere I go. But the point is, my advantage of living in the United States, visited Europe and most parts of the world, is to have seen that it's not rocket science. That what we have is a travesty. There is no reason that Edo State should not have a motorable road in 2023. Actually, I don't campaign that I will do road because governors don't do road. That is an agency that should work on its own. So we need to rethink how governance is done, remove corruption, cut it down, make sure governance is the way it is everywhere else.
Steve,
So that's why
I think you've answered the question, and let's leave it at that, please.
Okay, but you did allow other people to go on speaking for much longer, man.
No, when I cut that, I would come on and say I didn't catch when they were speaking for that long, but please, I'm not trying to do any favoritism. All right, please try to bear with us.
Thank you, man. Sure. Thank you.
Very well. Can I just say again for equity, can Loretta also go before we then get the mic to go around?
That's if she's available now. So, Mrs. Loretta, are you there? Please, if you're there, unmute yourself. Thank you. I don't think she's here. So we just have to move and let's hand over back the mic to Nigeria for peace and justice. Let's hear his opinion. Then we'll move to Use. I think Use have something to say too. So if you're there, please unmute yourself.
Sorry for coming up. I think my hand has been up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Peter, please, you can wait. Thank you very much. Thanks to the host, thanks to the co-host, thanks to all Edo people and friends of Edo people. In fact, your efforts today, this evening, will no doubt lead that the primaries will become more credible and will be transparent and will make all Obedience and Labour Party people very happy and galvanized to do an election. You know, Edo has a special place in the heart of every Nigerian. You are the crossroad. So I'm very glad that the Obedience are ready to take the Obedient politics to the next level. This politics of love, competence, and prosperity. We want to take it now to the grassroots to develop the states. The numbers of those who are aspiring for the Labour Party governorship candidates is in fact in Edo is a manifestation of the role Edo played in the election of P2B and Babadati as the president of Nigeria. Edo urgently needs a fresh face, somebody from obedient generation, not an overloaded people. And that is why Steve, after working 1 year with him, my name is Elvis Musa, I'm a Labour Party politician in Norway. I served 12 years as a Labour Party member of Oslo Parliament, so I can sense people who are transparent and good characters. Steve have shown that he is an obedient of passion, that he has the character.
Sorry, really sorry. I really don't like to use the mute button. We're trying to steer the conversation away from sort of campaigning. This is more of us trying to sort of get to know the candidates. Yes, we would definitely have a space where we can sort of get each a person to sort of talk in a bit more detail. I'm really, really sorry. I didn't, I don't like to use the mute button, but I had to just sort of come in there. So if you can give your submission, but we're trying to sort of stay away from actually doing any sort of campaigning, if I can put it that way. Thank you.
I'm sorry for that. I just felt that we are also introducing ourselves and why we need, EDO is. Yeah, I don't think I deviated from the topic, but it's okay. Your point is well taken. I wish the process a very good luck, and I support what you guys are doing. But we endorse Steve as our candidate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your submission. Peter, okay, for the longest of time, right? So just let's hear from you, and then we'll go back to Ose.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to add something. I want to apologize if anybody took my question.
Ose, please, no, just hold on, please. Let's hear what Peter have to say, then come back to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate. I've been here listening and I came to the speaker section. I don't have much time. The many questions I have to I will be during their campaign and others time. Yeah. I really appreciate all the four candidates. I don't know why they are still here. Yeah, I appreciate all of you for coming out. No matter the prompt invitation for coming out, that show you all are good leaders. And I want to inform you now. Anybody when no fear Jimmy, no they exist for this world though. Jimmy, I give you kudos. I beg. I fear you myself. I fear you. I want to just ask them just one question. Not much question, but just one. Please, why are you coming into using the Labour Party flag? Like, why are you coming in as a Labour Party candidate? And how long have you been into this Labour Party? How long have you been here? And why are you here? Are you here because you know that it is a reigning party now because of Peter Obi? Or why are you in Labour Party? That's just all what I want to know for now. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Thank you for that question. Also, so let's hear what you have to say. Then we recycle. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very much into with the question that Peter asked. I want to go back to my question again. I just wanted to explain why I asked that question. I'm not spiting on anyone. All four aspirants that are coming are EDO citizens, and I value them because they are my brothers and my sisters. But one thing I promised myself and I'm going to do, and I promise every member of EDO Voice and whatever we stand for, is the fact that I'm going to scrutinize anybody who come under this platform to ask to come out for the position of the governor. Now, I'm not asking that why are you coming out for leadership. We are coming out for the governor of Edo State. That's the number one office of the state. And you must be well prepared to say, I'm coming out for the governor. There are other positions in the state. Why are you not coming out for the chairmanship position? Why are you not coming out for other positions in the state? You decide to come out for the governor of the state. You should be ready and prepared to serve in that office. Now, that includes you preparing long time ago for it. It's not something you just wake up for the day as like, I want to be governor of the state. This is not something to be prepared. It's not something to just wake up and decide on. I had experience of working in Edo State. I've worked across every look and kind of Edo State. I've been to all 18 local governments in Edo State. So if you are coming here to tell me your community impact in Edo State, I'm going to follow it up. Now, I don't want to go personally to people. I just want to say the reason for that question is just to know generally our intention. So I'm not going to stress more on my question. I just wanted to say I support Peter's question. Let them tell us why they specifically want to come under Labour's party.
This is up. This is not.
Sorry, Ose, can I come in, please?